Hello, viewers. Welcome to another episode of KYT. We will be talking about real estate post COVID, and for that, we have an eminent personality with us. We'll be discussing with him. Mr. Ajay Ashar today is with us. He's the current president of MCHI Thane. We all know him, and we'll be discussing about the impact what this pandemic has got on real estate, and also the challenges what this real estate is going to face in the future, and how are they going to overcome it. So, Mr. Asher, first of all, we welcome you in this KYT YouTube channel. So, this
Thank you, Nikhil.
yeah, this pandemic has really affected all the sectors of the economy. It has like globally affected all, not only India but the entire world, and all the sectors are equally affected. Real estate sector, which is considered to be the second most employment generator sector, is also critical. What is your comment on this?
Um, Real estate is the most critical sector, according to me, for the Indian economy. Indian economy largely depends on real estate because of the nature of the business, where all other businesses are attached to this real estate segment. It is very important, and obviously, this is affected in a very big way. There are so many situations that have happened, and we need to tackle this very carefully. Our earnest appeal to government is be very sympathetic towards the whole issue. You must be aware that Supreme Court, there is a matter going on regarding waiver of interest. Uh, MCHI Thane is a party. We have intervened in the litigation, and we are fighting it for all our co-members and all around, that such waivers have to be done. Interest cannot be charged when moratorium is given. And there are so many other issues with which migrant labor is a very big issue, which is all affected the entire real estate sector. And my appeal to the government will be that look at it very compassionately, very nicely, and see to it that this sector gets back on its feet. On its getting back is the biggest opportunity for the revival of the entire economy.
So what is that petition all about? Like which you are getting it signed by all the developers. What actually you are asking the government to do? What waivers you are asking them for?
See, there are various waivers we have asked for, but primarily in the petition that we have, there are two petitions that we are talking about. One is what we have filed in the Supreme Court. That is for interest waiver. Simply because moratorium word includes waiver of interest and waiver of time, waiver of paying the interest. So deferment of interest. For 6 months, government has deferred the interest, but they have not deferred what we are asking, since there has been no business for last 6 months. How can we pay the interest? It is straight away a negative cash, not only cash flow, it affects the profitability. So we have requested the court that this itself, what NBFCs and banks are doing is wrong. That is a petition in the Supreme Court. The other petition that we have sent to the government is regarding how you can, there are three phases of real estate that we are looking at. One is the survival, then comes the revival, and then comes the growth phase. So in this petition, we have given a plan to the government. If first you revive us, you will revive us by giving us restructuring, making restructuring opportunity to all of us. We will be revived if the interest rates are lowered for us, because repo rate is getting down, but government is not passing on the benefit to the banks, are not passing on the benefits to the developers, neither the home loan borrowers. So we have asked them to reduce that. And third is GST input credit, which we are not getting, is again a very in a straight away balance sheet loss it is, so which is very difficult. Second phase is the once we'll survive, we can we survive is by increasing, giving a new lease of life, having another 4 or 5 steps that we have mentioned in the petition. Once if the government does that, then we will help in reviving the economy. Reviving means where we can look at increasing the turnover, increasing the demand. For increasing the demand, we have asked that the interest exemption of income tax to the interest about 2 lakh should be made more. The GST for this what do you call it, the project of redevelopment, very unfairly it is put, that has to be removed, and a few other demands which will help reviving the entire economy. Home loan should be pegged down at 5% so that it will spur the maybe it should be done for 6 months so that everybody comes rush in. Similarly, we are asking the state government also to give some relaxation. So over and all, this survival will become, the revival will come into play. And if the revival comes into play, then we can look at the growing sectors like taking people advantage, PMAY scheme, which is not probably working, Swami fund, which is not happening right now. They have reduced the interest right now from 15% to 12%. Our point is, if Swami fund you could reduce from 15 to 12, but banks have still not reduced their interest. That needs to be done. If that is done, the whole thing will kind of turn around.
Mm-hmm. So what about RERA? Because a huge migration has taken place. Also, there will be a delay of supply of construction material. There is also a shortage of labor. So have you asked them to push the deadline of the completion of projects which are
Yes.
ongoing right now?
Yes. We, in the 20 lakh crore announcements, the only relief that we got was a 6-month extension. But now, knowing very well, the moratorium that has been granted is 6 months. But you can understand that 6 months for a construction industry, like it's already been, lockdown was for 3 months. Now all the migrants have gone. We don't see migrants coming back till Diwali. Like I had 2,000 people on my sites, various sites. Now I am reduced to 150. So all of them have gone away. Now, I don't know when they will come back. I am ready. Everything is ready, but we don't have workers. So it is becoming very difficult. We are trying local, but it is not happening. It requires huge numbers. So as a result, we have requested at least 1 year RERA should be extended. So 6 months they have extended. Another 3 months is in the purview of the authority to do it. So we are hopeful for 9 months, but we need at least 1 year and then 3 more months. That is what our demand is, and we are hopeful that it will be looked into.
So these are your demands from the state government or maybe central government. But what about the local corporation? Are there any specific demands for the municipal commissioner?
A municipal commissioner, we have, because of this, we have requested him that one is, see, whatever we have been given installments, in that 18% levies interest is being charged. So that we have requested him, it should not be charged for this period when there is a lockdown. Again, that 18% is too heavy. We should make it 8.5%, which is our demand to state also. If state agrees that, then the same line should be followed by the municipal corporation. And other permissions that they have given now. So works have started after the permissions that they got from from the center. So that is quite all right. It's in the line, except for financial, because right now there is no cash flow. There is no movement of money. So we require support in that, and once we get that support, it will all be in order.
Mm-hmm. So how do you speculate the behavior of home buyers? Like, because this pandemic has affected all the sectors of the economy. So people are worried about their jobs. There is no clarity about the salary, what they will be getting, or the increments, etc., etc. Even banks are now assessing their salary statements. So what is your take on this? How will they react to this?
Ultimately, see what I told you in the first point, reviving the economy is the key. Unfortunately, the 20 lakh crore relief what government has given is not touching all the sectors. It is not touching the important sectors. The bottom line is that you need to revive the economy. If we are able to do that, there is no worry. We are very resilient by nature, and we all will come back very sharply. But the support from the government is required. Now, regarding job losses, if the industry is not supported, there is bound to be job losses. And if there are job losses, it is bound to affect this industry, because already people have purchased flats, already EMIs are on. So it is not a good situation for anybody. It is like a temporary reset. But I think government will do the needful. We are very positive. You must have read the tweet of after our interaction with ex-chief minister, sir. Yeah. Then he tweeted to madam, and madam has already FM madam has already retweeted that she is open-mindedly looking at everything. And if that takes place, I think the buyer sentiment will also come back. Once the economy, I think, if everything goes back, it requires say 6 to 9 months, couple of quarters to get the economy back into the saddle. Once it is there, then there should not be. Right now, see, everybody is worried about coronavirus. Everybody is worried about, as a result, the job, the turnover, because every day in the newspaper we are reading, okay, for the first time, this much losses. It's bound to happen. For 3 months, if we have not been working, balance sheets are going to get affected. So we have to take it in our side and have a double input right now. That's the way up.
Many people are discussing, like, would there be any major price correction? Like, would the property prices fall in future, or would they be the same what they were before lockdown? What is your take on this?
See, last 3 to 4 years, there has been a complete slowdown in the industry. And the rates have reached rock bottom. Abhi to kuch, there is no scope of reduction. It is a imaginative thing which some of the political people and also some of the bankers are saying. What you are doing as trying to say is they are trying to save their own profit. The bankers are trying to save their own profit because they have not reduced, in spite of repo rate, they have not reduced any of the rate either to home loan buyers or to us. And they just want, if there is no scope for further reduction as far as the developer is concerned. So if he does it, either way, the developer will not survive. So I don't think anybody is now going to reduce rate any further. I don't see a big correction or anything. Somebody on the, maybe, to close some deals might do something. That's it. But I don't see a big correction there.
Mm-hmm. So this is about residential property market. But then if you talk about the commercial property market, now many people are working from home. And many companies worldwide are promoting remote working, that they are preferring people should work from home. So will this shrink the commercial space? Will this shrink the demand of commercial real estate in the future?
There are two issues on this. Number one, we are saying, if at all the government policies work out, and if at all the industries which are coming out of China, which we know they are going out of China, but if India is able to back them, and if it comes here, then be a huge spurt of demand, which we are all looking at. It should happen, and it will happen. And if that happens, we are looking at very positive impact. Point number one. Point number two, if COVID remains for a longer period of time, there is always already a social distancing norm, which right now we are not following up at the workspace. If that happens, the workspace will, in fact, you'll require more workspace rather than less. So like in our IT park, 75 square feet or 60 square feet is sufficient for one person to sit. That is what the design is. Now they will require 120, 150. So the demand, in fact, will go up if these two things happen. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, world over, it is all well said that you can work from home. But still, Indian culture is a little far away from there. Mm-hmm. You don't get the right atmosphere at your residence to really give the output. In the last 3 months, my office staff, a lot of people who can work from home are working, but their efficiency is not more than 20% of what normally is. So with that efficiency, it is impossible to function. Because everybody requires support system. The head of the department requires his typist, he requires his computer, PA, everything, and all that. How will it function? It is otherwise the head of the department is doing the clerical job at his home, typing or doing things, which is not worth it. So you're paying for something which high salary for work which is done effectively by the lower level people. So I don't think that concept is going to fly in India, at least right now.
So we spoke about the design of the commercial property market, like the commercial spaces may be redesigned. But then what about the residential designs? How would be the homes post-COVID? Would there be any architectural changes that would be happen? Even people are inquisitive to know about it.
Architectural changes we are yet to figure out कि कैसे करेंगे. You can imagine a one bedroom hall kitchen flat or a one room kitchen flat. There are hardly any space available for, and if it's a big family, it's a very big concern. What it indicates is people will strive to have more flats. That's all which I can figure out. Because in a 300 square feet flat, one room kitchen, what kind of design can you do? Even in one bedroom hall kitchen, what is the scope of design? There is hardly any scope that you can really work on. So yes, there is a challenge. Our architects have a very fertile mind. They will try and work out something, but practically it is too demanding to create something in this. There may be, as you know, interior wise, they have done this, what do you call it, the tables, dining tables, which can go into the wall, etc. So they may create some curtains or something, but not too much can be done, I feel.
So I read somewhere that before this pandemic, before this lockdown, all over India, the developers were sitting on an unsold stock of worth 6 lakh crores. So I'm sure developers want that liquidity, they want that momentum which they were getting earlier. So would developers come up with very innovative or out of the box schemes or rate structure for the buyers so that they can improve the liquidity?
First of all, let me correct you. This 6 lakh crore figure is not documented anywhere. You must have read, because everybody is throwing their numbers, which may not be right at all. There is no data to this effect. Point number one. Point number two, at least in MMR region, I cannot say what is in India, but at least in MMR region, which is in front of us, we see buildings under construction and we say that as an unsold stock, but they are not finished product. An unsold stock becomes when it is a finished product. When my building is under construction, say I have a 35-story building and which is at 15th and 16th floor, it is work in progress. It is not unsold stock. I am expecting that stock to be sold by the time I finish the project, which may be around, say, another 1.5 to 2 years. So there is the misconception of people, and just, sorry to say, but press also loves it to throw us numbers to show that a stock is not. Actually, if you look into the market, the stocks are not to that effect. People have started work, but they are no finished. Till now, I am saying you, we hardly have any flats which are finished and unsold. Whether they are getting finished, they are getting sold. It is the process which goes on simultaneously. So I really don't see this 6 lakh crore ka jo hai. I'm not seeing that. But anyway, whatever is unsold, there is a huge pent-up demand, which is already there. And let me tell you, in the last 2 months, I have personally been selling 10 flats every month.
That's
in this COVID period.
Yeah.
Yes, in the lockdown period, I have been selling by our marketing team because they were active, they were working from home. And that itself is I did a very, very high value sale with payment completed. Really high value at my Pali Hills site. So, it is not that everything has come to a standstill. It is just, the lockdown has created a fear psychosis in the mind. But as we are, and as you and me talk, we all are fighter by nature. We all want to come back. We all want to get on with life. Proper care has been taken by God's grace. Touch wood, everything is fine. So we need to be careful. But I see the day lockdown was out, people, on one scooter, there were 4 people. If we'll do something like that, it is ridiculous. So I think we are very resilient by nature. We'll all come back. I don't see it as yes, we have to get a support. That's it.
So now this unlock one has been started. So are we seeing any site visits? And I think people may be avoiding site visits because of this fear psychosis, as you just mentioned. So how will this sale and purchase process will be in the future? Would there be any changes? How will we be using the technology in future?
See, we are already using, as I told you, in this lockdown period, I have been selling flats. So these are things which are happening. The program for selling has changed. Like it's a virtual site visit that we are giving, and obviously your reputation at this stage comes into play in a very big way. And people, once they have the trust, then it keeps on rolling. As things normal out, we will do like everybody else is doing. Keep social distancing on our site. Let people visit. We will sanitize that every day probably, or as per the need may be, the flats, and let people visit. And we'll have to see. We have to learn to live with COVID. We cannot be taking a backseat. Okay, we might go a little slow this time. Instead of 10 visits, we'll do 5 visits, 2 visits, 3 visits. But all that will happen systematically. Somebody will have to wait. The entire story of COVID, as I see it, is people should be ready to wait. People should not rush. People should not go. So if at our sites, we can very easily handle that. And we can give appointments. Let everything happen by appointment. So then it is easy to do. People will start coming. They have already started coming, let me tell you. So that's why what virtual sales we did are now converted into physical sales. They are coming to our office and they've started. So work will start normally. There's not a problem.
Okay. So lastly, I would like to ask you, like, how are you seeing the Thane market? How will the home buyers in Thane specifically will react to this particular scenario, and how are they reacting?
Thane is still the hottest market. If not the whole country, then MMR, I can 100% say that, because it is the one market which has kept the money rotation on. You can imagine that we have been able to, in lockdown, able to sell flats. So Thane is still a very hot market. It is rightly priced. It is suiting everybody's budget. I really don't see any problem for Thane. It will still keep on rolling. The infrastructure is good. I don't see any problem for Thane in the near future also. It will keep on selling, and it will turn out to be still good. And all the more because of this social distancing, the requirement, according to me, is going to increase. Those who can really afford, they will really buy additional space.
Okay. Sir, thank you so much for talking with us. It was great pleasure talking with you about the real estate scenario post-COVID. Thank you, viewers, for watching KYT. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you so much.